Hello everybody, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're taking a look at Planting Season. This is a contract in the East Beskids region. This contract is unlocked after completing Justice in the Forest, and you do need to have 3 available inventory slots on your vehicle to do this contract. So we're going to be using the R87, which is going to give us plenty of inventory space in addition to having a set of anchors with us for emergency purposes. So what are we going to be doing? We're going to be starting from the field operations base here. And we're going to be following this path to the north, and then up through the mountains, and then across the river, and right over to here where we're going to grab the 3 flower seeds. Now, once we get the seeds, we're going to basically do a little loop here. So we're going to drop off the first seed over here. The second seed is going to be dropped off over here. Then we're going to go back across the river and drop off the 3rd and final seed right here. So, it looks a little messy. It's not going to be that bad. I'll show you how it's done. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is just make our way out of the outpost here. And we're just going to follow this path right on out to the north here. And we're just going to head right on down the hill here. Right on through these trees here, and that's going to allow us to bypass a bunch of these terrible rocks and get us right on up over this hill. And once we get over here, we're going to make our way right on down here in between these rocks, and then immediately head to the left. We go right across this mud pit, and then over some rocks here, and we're going to make our way right on up this hill. You can see that gap in the rocks right ahead of us there where the marker is. We're going to go ahead and just cross right up there. It is kind of steep and the snow is pretty deep, but the Yar is perfectly capable of getting up this climb. We're just going to go right up here, right in between the rocks, and all the way through. And we're going to head out through the snow, head up on the left here, because if you just try to go straight through the snow, it's pretty deep, and it'll slow you down quite a bit. So if you go off to the left here, you can kind of bypass some of that snow patch. And from here, we're just going to follow this path where it takes us down to the river, so we can get across and pick up those rare flower seeds so we can get those delivered. Again, right over here, we're going to cross the narrow snow and just stay right on the edge of the snow here. Head off to the left here. And right down here is going to be our way off of this cliff, right in between these rocks here. We're just going to go roll right on through that. And then follow the shoreline down to our river crossing. So from here, we're going to cross over on this little island with the pine tree. Just going to go right across the water here. And then right over here, we're going to enter the water here and just kind of go at an angle to the right side of this island here. And that's going to keep us moving with the current, instead of fighting against it, which is going to give us a little bit more traction through the mud under the water. And just go across this little island here. And right on up the hill in between those rocks. And then we're going to head up to the right here. Got some rocks here to go across, this little crevasse here. Just go right up and over it. And right down here, we're going to head through these rocks. head right up over them to these trees. And just go right in between the tree and the rocks there. And here is our pickup location for the seeds. So go ahead and grab all 3 seeds, throw those in your truck inventory. And then from here, you will be able to see we now have the markers for those seed locations. So as you can see, we're just going to do a little bit of a loop here and circle back around to these 3 seed locations. So for starters, you can go down that way. It does get a little messy with the trees, so I'm going to show you the way I prefer to go, which is right down through here. And just go right around this big rock. And that'll get you back down to the river. From here, we're just going to go right across. We're going to head over here first, because the water is a little shallower right here. We're just going to stay right on this high spot here as we make our way across the river. And then make your way right on up the hill and over these rocks. And then we're going to cross through the water here. And this is going to get us to seed location number 1. Right up the hill here. So go ahead and deliver the seeds, and then we're going to continue on our way. And we're going to head right over here, and we're going to use this little ramp to get down, all the way down to the bottom here, and then we're going to cross the river again. Now, once we get over here, this is going to be the tricky part, but we're just going to follow the shoreline here. Just going to go right up over these rocks here. Kind of keeping our truck kind of pointed up the hill a little bit as we get over those rocks. I'm going to head down and get over these, and that's probably the trickiest part of this. The rest of this isn't too bad. We're just going to follow that shoreline back over to that other river crossing. Nothing too complicated here. A lot of rocks and some things like that, but for the most part, the ground is pretty level, and it's not super muddy, so it's not going to slow you down a whole lot. Alright, right over here, this is going to be a bit of a tricky climb, but we're going to head right on up these rocks here. Just get right on up to the top here. And this is going to get us to seed location number 2, which is right up on top of that hill. We're going to go down here and go up and around this little birch tree here. And that is going to get us to seed location number 2. So as you can see, this is where we are at. This is where the first one was. And now all we gotta do is go across the river and travel through the hills and get on over to location number 3. So we're gonna go ahead and just get backed up and make our way back down and across the river. So right on down here. Oop. Yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky climb there. I don't know why I put a marker on that island. It's not the island I need to go to. Just make a little adjustment on the route there. I clicked on the wrong island when I was putting the route in. It's okay though. And just like last time, we're just gonna go right across the water here and up the hill. And right up the hill here. Right on over these rocks. And this time we're going to head to the left. Get right over these rocks here. We're just going to make our way right on through these trees here. And once we get through the trees, we got some snow to go through. And watch out, there is a drop right at the end when we get over the snow. So we're going to head down this right side here. It's going to be a more gradual slope. And we're just going to back up and go around the edge of the whirlpool here. Just kind of tight maneuvering here. And right over here, we're just going to go up the hill and right across the stream. Alright, and that's going to take us back into the forest. Right over here, we're going to drop down in between these rocks. Head right on into this little puddle. And then up to our left is going to be our third and final seed location. So we're going to go ahead and drop off those seeds. And that is going to complete planting season. And this is going to reward you with the UOD2 tires. And those are going to be for the Tron BR0D. So, hello everybody, just throwing in a quick note. This contract has been updated to now reward the THMS1 tires for the Tron BR0D and the Dessin S3T. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and until next time, I'll see you in the wilds. Bye-bye.